Hey there folks, welcome ye all to yet another vlog of mine. A little cheap one on the telephone machine. After all, that's why we bought it, people. Vlogs on the fly. Flaggins up to you all. It is Flaggins up Friday after all, and the sun is splitting the bloody trees here. Now I need to be careful where I place myself with this vlog. I've got the garden door open. Alright, it's not a million degrees outside, but it's still in the garden, which is a bit of a sun trap. I get the sun from midday all the way through, well, I think even before midday, all the way through till the sun goes down, people. It's absolutely awesome. And I got my new fencing yesterday, which you can't see from here. So all my fence panels and everything have been replaced. A bit of an investment, but well worth it. Looks amazing. Really good job the guy's done for me. And he's also coming back to me with a price for my new decking. I may or may not do it instead of a holiday, people. And then I'll enjoy the garden all summer and hope that we get a bloody heat wave. We should do. Global warming, isn't it? If anything, if we're going to kill the planet, at least we can have some nice weather before we go, people. Anyway, it is a small channel update. I'm going to have a sip of this. Cheers to you all. You know I'd buy you one. I would. How many times am I going to say it, people? That was lovely, that was. Oh, hello. My arm's hurting already. So, as you have, there's been many people. Let me get this out of the way first, shall we? There's been loads of you saying, "Where's Kingdoms of Amalur?" Don't worry, it's coming. It is coming. I think it's only been a week since I posted one up, but it is coming. I'm absolutely loving playing that game. I will get back to it. It's one of those games I can pick up anytime and just get straight back into it without much of a thought, which is why I'm not worried about it. There's going to be tons more of Kingdoms of Amalur, I promise. So if you sub to the channel for that reason, don't worry, there will be loads of Kingdoms of Amalur. It's probably a week or so away. I'm not promising a week because I'm trying to cover... The reason I'm so heavy on Path of Exile at the minute is because there is so much happening with it. We had the synthesis update, and then we had the release on, or the launch on PS4. So I wanted to not skip the PS4. I wanted to show people some footage from the PS4, some gameplay from the PS4, and I've also, well, PS4 Pro in my case, so that people have an idea how it's playing. As it happens, it seems to play almost identically to the X. I've not found any real difference yet. And it's also another excuse for me to play as another type of character. And I invested a tiny bit of money again. I got myself a wolf and got myself, you know, some fancy bits and bobs. And so we're having a nice little play on the Pro with the Shadow character. On the Xbox One X character, we've got and the reason I'm spreading myself on this is because I want... I'm enjoying it. I'm thoroughly enjoying that game, and I'm getting so much fun out of it that I don't even care that I've spent the sort of money that I have in supporting the game. I mean, to date, I've probably spent about £60. And what? I can hear you screaming at the camera, but I don't mind. Like, I would have spent £60 on, well, now on the best part of one game that I wouldn't have spent anywhere near the amount of time on that I've spent on Path of Exile. So, you know, to have spread, and that's over 2 consoles, bear in mind. You know, I bought a few bits on the PlayStation 4 Pro so that I could show it off with a nice, you know, I think I've got the wolf as a pet on that one, and, you know, just to make it a bit more interesting for people to watch. And on the other one, I've kind of bought... Well, what's happening is I'm playing 3 different characters on the X. I'm playing the new Shadow character on the PS4 Pro. So on the X, I'm playing the Ranger playthrough at the moment, and I've been playing a Scion character off camera, and I've been trying to get that Scion to catch up with the Ranger so that I can bring you some of these parts as a Scion from somewhere at the end of Act 4 probably, or in the middle. And I've caught up now. I've got to Act 4, so I will probably record some Scion stuff. A Scion is basically a character you can take in any direction. You can make them whatever you like. And in the middle of that big passive tree, you can start from any point and move any direction. So that's basically what a Scion is. I happen to have made my Scion a very mage-type character, so it's all about the magic. So I could really have gone a witch, to be fair, but, you know, hey-ho. And... so we've got the Ranger and we've got the Scion, and yesterday I started a Templar, and I have to say the Templar is actually one of the most fun and actually one of the strongest skill trees in the passive skill tree. So I mean, I'm loving the direction that's taken. It is really good for, you know, it's strength and magics basically. Fantastic way to go if you're first starting that game. I would say that the Templar is a really good one to go with. You can kind of go, effectively he's built really for either a one-handed mace and a shield or a staff. But I don't see any great benefit from going staff, because if you in a staff you'll get maybe 3 sockets, say, at the beginning for your gems. if you go with a one-handed mace and a shield, you'll end up with 6. So you've got more that you can put in them. So anyway, so we've got those 3 playing. I'm going to try and get the Templar caught up as well off camera, and then I can start showing you a bit of him. So I wanted to show off a range of what you can do in this game rather than just throw up some footage and let people see it. I think with a game like that, it's not so much just seeing the gameplay, it's seeing the gameplay with different ways of playing it. And that's what I'm trying to achieve. So the Ranger, I have got 3 more episodes of the Ranger already recorded about a week ago, which I haven't posted up yet because I've been posting the PS4 stuff up, PS4 Pro stuff up, with the Shadow guy. So those will come pretty swiftly. And I'm going to record some... I think... the Scion's pretty much ready to go. Just need to catch up a little bit more. I've hit Act 4 with I just need to try and push on to try and catch up where the Ranger is. I think the Ranger might be quite far through Act 4, so I need to catch up with it. And then I can bring you the next parts of that with maybe the Scion and explain what I did with them. And then at some point I'll interject with, once I get the Templar caught up, I'll interject with the Templar, so that we're seeing new areas but with different types of people, which I think would be pretty beneficial to everybody watching, and pretty beneficial to anyone who's thinking about playing, or anyone who's already playing but trying to think of another character to go. The great benefit of going with going with multiple plays, this game is very stingy on handing out what you need as the character you're on, but it will dish it out as another type of character. So, and your stash is accessible by all, so it is particularly useful to play as a couple of characters, and it keeps the interest up as well. I mean, all right, the areas are kind of the same, they do auto-generate, but the doorways are always the same, the stories are always the same. But I'm just loving it. I'm absolutely hooked on that game. It's fantastic. So there you are. So that's why I've been doing what I've been doing, and why it's been so heavy on Path of Exile. We interjected with some Sekiro there because it was a new release and an RPG, and Aaron Brew. Thank you for all the kind comments of Aaron Brew. He was delighted with all of the nice comments that you guys had left him on the channel and in the comments below. He's a lovely lad. If I do say so myself. Must take after his mum or something. Nah, he's a lovely lad. He's really, just a kind soul is what he is, and he's a fun lad like me. So he sat down at the microphone. It was, we've done it once before we did a live stream at one point with Bloodborne, which was really good fun, and he was dead comfortable with that as well. You put a microphone in front of him, he's just dead comfortable. It was a joy to sit and do it again with him. But he lives up in, to explain to anyone who doesn't know, he lives up in Edinburgh, I'm in Blackpool, so we get together when we can, and we'll most certainly be doing more recording when he comes down the next time, which will be a number of months from now. But we talk every day on the telephone machine via the texts and such like, we're very close. So thank you for all the kind messages on Aaron Brew. That is now his name, Aaron Brew. And I think I'll probably not do any more Sekiro at the moment because it's so painful. It's a great game, but I just, even if you're good at Souls games, that is a challenge because you've got to rewire your brain to play that game. So, I think it was enough for me to see enough of it to know that I'm going to have to come back, another time when I've got more time to spend with it. And maybe try and get a bit more fun out of it. To be honest, I might not even touch it again till Aaron's done. Aaron actually got off the train in Edinburgh and went and bought it. Because he was on it like, I've got to beat these bosses and stuff. So he's been having a rare old time with it. He's got past the boss that we finished on part 6, was it? He's got past that boss after 2 attempts, I think it was. But he had a third, I don't know how he managed it, but he had a second revive. So however he managed that, he had a second revive to get him through it. But he wouldn't want to do it again in a hurry, he said. But, a lot of it's become making more sense to him now. He's going through it again. Well, since he's played it here and then started it again, a lot of it makes more sense immediately, and he got more comfortable with it. So it's an interesting one. I don't know how well that game is going to last, really. I thought Souls games were hard enough, but my brain just wouldn't rewire the way it needed to for that game. The standard enemies became okay, but the bosses, Anyway, it's all getting a bit more time with it. I think if I sat with it for a few days, I'd be, killing myself now. I'd probably be slightly better at it. But I did alright, you know, most of the bosses I got half the health off and, you know, blah. So, anyway, there you are. I ramble on. So, thank you very much for all the kind comments for Aaron Brew. He was delighted with them all, as was I. So, thank you for that. Thank you for all the kind words. A few of you asked if we could get him on camera for a vlog or whatever. There was no plans to do a vlog at that point. Doesn't mean we won't do one, but I did mention it to him. Maybe it's something we can do in the future. But, you know, it's basically just a younger, more handsome version than me, people. What? How can that be possible? I hear you say. More handsome, eh, than Joystick Steve? I think you're not. And on that note, so don't worry. To summarise, people, lots more Path of Exile to come via all of those 4 different playthroughs I'm doing, and loads of Kingdoms of Amalur to come. It might be 1 to 2 weeks before I get to it, but there will be shed tons of Kingdoms of Amalur coming on that playthrough I was doing. So don't worry, it will be back. It's just I wanted the time to spend with Path of Exile because I was having such a good time with it. I've just put a vote up as to whether or not you're playing 1 or 2 or 3 or more characters. Let me know in that what you're up to with it now that it's landed on the PlayStation 4 Pro. That question's across both platforms. And there you are. That is it, people. That's all I had to say. I had, after they did I'll see if I can actually... There you go. You can probably see my new... A bit too much of my face, to be fair. You can probably see the new fencing just at the back there. That's one half of it, anyway. Got both sides done, you know. Solid stuff, people, to get us through the stormy weathers. So it's just lovely having it all... Ooh, sunshine. Having it all the same. It had been, you know, when I bought the house, the stuff that was there was kind of all a bit different, patchwork jobbers. And then it all kind of started falling out because it was just old. So it's been lovely to have all the new stuff in. I had to wait 3 weeks for the guys. Very, very good and very sought after. So that's that done. And hopefully the price for the decking will be a decent enough one. I'm going to go now. I'm rambling on. Cheers to you all. If you aren't having a beer in the sunshine, then you should be. That's all I'm saying. It has been an honour and a privilege serving for you once again in this cheap little vlog of mine. And I shall see you all next time, folks. Take it easy.